This man is convicted in a federal child pornography case after reaching a plea deal with prosecutors. Michael Cannell pleaded guilty to one count of child pornography today in connection to hidden cameras recording videos of underage girls undressing in his guest bathroom. Other counts against Cannell were dropped. The charge carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison, but his plea deal seeks between 5 and 8 years of confinement. Cannell will be sentenced in late October.